Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to the latest edition of the Weekend Wrestle podcast. The Maxim Brothers here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And we are continuing this week our journey through the history of the WWF Saturday Night's Main Event with Saturday Night's Main Event number 3, November 2nd, 1985, of course, on NBC. And I actually don't really have anything to cover before we get into the meat of the matter this week. How about you?
Not really.
All right. Well, we'll get into it then.
Yep.
All right. Yes. Jump right into Saturday night's main event. Again, November 2nd, 1985. We start off with Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan, who is dressed as, I believe, Davy Crockett.
Yes. Yeah.
And
would have been funnier if he would have been David Crockett.
Get him! That's funny. I didn't even think about that. He'd be outside the ring. Get him, Bundy, get him. Telling Randy Savage to Elizabeth, cancer, Randy.
Yeah. But Bobby is dressed as Davy Crockett, and he is practicing for his pumpkin competition.
Pumpkin bobbing. Yeah, this is a very, very gimmicked up, very cartoony episode of Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yes.
But
yes, it is.
Gene does ask Bobby if that's beaver skin or early weasel skin on his head.
Yes.
And they talk about the tag team match coming up tonight. It's going to be Hogan and Andre against Bundy and Studd. Hulk Hogan cuts a promo on those two gentlemen.
He's with Andre.
Yes.
And if you notice, Andre is not part of any of these shenanigans.
No, he's not dressing up like nothing.
Yes. Even when he's with Hogan, Hogan doesn't have his Halloween outfit on. Like, none of these shenanigans are happening.
Do you think, watching this show, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but there's a couple times where like Andre gets a little aggressive with Hogan about like, let's go. So do you think they were already planting the seeds for the heel turn at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't just me seeing things that weren't there.
No, they were I'm assuming, planning on it.
Okay, because like I said,
Especially
there's a couple times where.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say there's just a couple of times during this where I picked up like Andre. It felt like Andre was being a little aggressive with Hogan. Like Hogan's putting down his rap, and Andre's like, "Come on, let's go." Shit
but
like
with
that.
how Vince used to book. If it's true, he used to book WrestleMania to WrestleMania, so he's already almost to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So,
hey, we have a special guest here.
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
David Gold has joined us here on the Weekend Wrestle podcast. How are you, David?
Sorry, I'm casually late.
That's all right. We've gotten into talking about the opening of the Saturday Night's Main Event from November 2nd, 1985. So we've covered the first couple of segments. Now we're heading into Jesse Ventura and Roddy Piper discussing the fact that they're going to have he's going to have the hillbillies on Piper's Pit this evening.
yes. I also like the fact that Jesse Ventura doesn't have a Halloween costume because, like, what's he going to dress up like?
He's going to dress up normal for Halloween.
Yeah, he's just like a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Hillbilly Jim. Interesting character.
Definitely. I actually have been watching some Memphis from like 1984 where he is in there as Harley Davidson before he goes to the WWF, and he's teaming with Dirty Rhodes, the Dusty Rhodes knockoff. So that's a fun tag.
And he was the manager of the Godwins for a little while, wasn't he?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. The next thing we have here is Mean Gene interviewing Jimmy Hart and Terry Funk. Terry Funk going to have a match with Junkyard Dog later on tonight. And of course, at this point, Terry Funk doing his brief mid-80s run in the WWF, essentially we all know Terry was just there to get money for the match everyone wanted to see, the Hogan Funk match, and then skedaddle.
Yeah, and it's really a shame too because he wasn't doing anything that, and he wasn't. How do I say it? Like nobody was as chaotic as him at this point in the like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like WWF's, it's still somewhat not commercialized, cookie cutter, clean. You know, like we're gonna get towards WrestleMania 3, but it's starting. You can start to kind of see in it, especially with this, with like the Halloween costumes and the shit like that. You know, but like Funk was still doing crazy shit. Like you're gonna see it next week. I don't want to spoil nothing that happened how many fucking years ago, but it's just I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but
It does.
I wish Funk would have stuck around longer. Or maybe I don't, because maybe if he would have stuck around longer, he would have became like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they
But-
wouldn't have used him right. They like WCW was using him for outside the ring fights and street fights and Iron Man matches. Then I'd argue that WCW at that time was the alternative, like AEW is for WWE. To be honest, I agree with you 1,000%. Funk would not have been. They may have used the cowboy gimmick and made it kind of a joke.
Like they did with Dory when he comes in as Hoss Funk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree with that live wire thing too. Like the two guys in this period that are still in the WWF that are still like a live wire are Terry Funk and Roddy Piper's off the fucking charts this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Yeah,
what I don't know
Piper's
what I don't know
Piper.
I don't know what Piper. There's days where you're like, I don't know what that dude snorted before he did this segment, but shit.
Oh, it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
What didn't he snort would have been the better question.
Right? Yeah. What wasn't on the table exactly? But then we see people dressed up in Halloween costumes in the crowd. You know, of course, there's somebody.
Well,
dressed like,
we did. You did. Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna get into the wrestlers being dressed up. I was like, oh my god, he skipped an entire thing. I'll shut up. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was talking about the crowd. You know, they have someone dressed as.
Oh yeah.
They have someone in like a really creepy Hulk Hogan mask. Like I was, Jesus, that
Yeah,
mask
it's like
was
really.
creepy.
It wasn't like really big.
Yeah, and it looked more like they were wearing Hogan's skin.
And it was like a big Hulk Hogan head, like he was in like a Mardi Gras parade. Like, what is happening? And why would you? I was like, you wore that the whole time. Like, imagine being the guy sitting behind him. Christ.
Move your big Hulk Hogan head.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of people dressed, or not all kinds of people, but a bunch of people dressed up in weird 1980s Halloween. It's funny because like the further away the decade or the era is, the creepier Halloween costumes were. Like if you look back in like the 20s, that shit was terrifying. You look, if you like, there's just supposed to be a bunny rabbit, but it's the most terrifying bunny rabbit you've ever seen.
Someone in the crowd was drunk and told their friends they were sitting next to Hogan, I bet. Yeah, we're sitting next to Hawk in the crowd.
The next thing, before they go to the Terry Funk JYD match and the promos before it, they show footage of Terry Funk beating up a ring attendant on a previous taping, and I put down here the ring attendant is Mel Phillips. I wonder if he's beating him up because he asked to lick his feet.
Yeah, that's what I put. Like he's beating up that pervert Mel Phillips. Mel Phillips was like probably excited because they were like, "Hey, later on, and I fucking Terry's gonna put the boots to you." He's like, "Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about."
Yeah, and it's funny because it doesn't get talked about a lot, but this was the same night, like the footage of Funk beating up Mel Pervert was the same night that Randy Savage debuted.
Mm-hmm.
So they debuted at the WWF on the same night, which I think is, I mean, it's not crazy, but it's just a nice little tidbit of information.
Yeah, just like it's fun when stuff like that happens. Like I've been watching Superstars from 1988. On the same episode of Superstars in 1988, the Big Boss Man and the Rockers both make their debut.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you see something like that. these two legends, these two future, or at this point, Funk's already a legend, and then Savage is on his way to becoming a legend. But yeah, like you said, just they happen to make their debut in the promotion on the same night.
Or just like I always thought, and it's a minor one, but it's like because I know Glenn Jacobs had wrestled and obviously wrestled Brett, but it's like crazy to think that like Kane's in-ring debut is the night that Brett left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like and just there's just weird things like that. But yeah, I always thought it was interesting that Funk and Savage debuted on the same show. They never really had any interaction.
No, not one. Not in this promotion anyway. I don't think they had any interaction in any promotion, did they? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
That I know of.
Didn't Jimmy Hart and Terry Funk have a lot of promos where they're in the desert and stuff?
They did with that. Yeah, they did a lot of that on TNT. Like there's one where they're in the desert. There's one where they're in that like a cheesy looking saloon, but it's clearly just a set, you know. Or you know, they would do it on TNT where you were just supposed to believe like, okay, Vince McMahon's in the studio, and then all of a sudden he's in the saloon or whatever with Terry Funk.
That's fun shit.
The TNT is surreal.
Well, wrestling, it's what I miss. Like I was watching some Survivor, and then the other night I was like, I'm gonna watch the 1992 Survivor Series Superstars. You know, and I was like, you know what, this is fun. Like it's a fun little hour of watching it. And that's what wrestling isn't anymore. It's fun. It's not fun anymore. But not to get on that current product or whatever tangent. But anyway, what we're getting right now is it's fun.
The next thing here is Jimmy Hart and Terry Funk cutting a promo on their upcoming match with Junkyard Dog. And then, of course, the Junkyard Dog cuts a promo on Terry Funk.
Those were the days. Promos right before the match, or as they were entering the ring.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Oh, and to answer your question, Funk and Macho Man had one match. And that was one of his first matches when he used to wear a mask when he played baseball.
Ah.
And it was a non-televised match.
All right, then. Yeah, so I never would have seen it, obviously, having watched through things. But, yeah, I never heard of them working a program anywhere or anything together because I know there were a couple times when Savage was in Tennessee, Terry would have been in and out of Tennessee. But at that point, Savage probably still working for his dad, not for Lawler. So,
yeah, he had on a mask and was playing minor league baseball when they had their match.
Yeah,
supposedly, and it's in Funk's biography.
You ever see the baseball card, the Randy Savage baseball card?
I think I have one lying around here somewhere.
Well, I guess Randy Poffo, not Randy Savage.
He'll always be Savage.
Yes. So now we have the match itself, Terry Funk and Junkyard Dog. So yeah, the match itself with Terry Funk and Junkyard Dog, like you were saying, David, it's not long. None of these matches are long, but they don't need to be. You know, this is the point of Saturday night's main event is at this point in 1985 is to let the general public see this wrestling product. It isn't about you. It isn't about, well, I guess it would have been about you and me as kids. They like the kids too, but it wouldn't have been about the 30 or 40-year-old Bruno Sammartino wrestling guy. He's probably already watching. This is about introducing characters and people to the general public in the Saturday Night Live time slot, which is a primo time slot. So the matches don't have to be long, you know, they just have to be presentable.
Yeah, he had his little branding iron.
Yes. Essentially, the match kind of goes haywire. Terry Funk tries to use the branding iron on Junkyard Dog. It doesn't work. JYD winds up clocking. They actually do the tug of war is after. He clocks Jimmy Hart, knocks him out, and then Funk is trying to get Jimmy out of the ring. JYD and Funk have a tug of war over Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart loses his pants, and then Junkyard Dog brands his ass. And that is Saturday night's main event. Good shit, pal.
That's good shit. He's gonna puke. He's gonna.
So we're coming up now on. We're going to start our Halloween games, right?
I have the list of everybody's outfit if you want it.
You do. I knew you would, so I didn't do that. But everybody's dressed up for Halloween. The first contest is good. It's Team Heenan versus Team Albano in this Halloween contest.
Yes, but Randy and Liz are Tarzan and Jane. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov are Batman and Robin. Bobby Heenan is Davy Crockett. For some reason, King Kong Bundy is Abe Lincoln. Like I would have made him like Herbert. I would have made him like Herbert Hoover or
Cleveland.
William Howard Taft.
Yeah, but they made him Abe Lincoln. Tito Santana is Zorro. Hulk Hogan is dressed as Hercules, not the wrestler, the god.
That makes sense.
The Hillbillies are the Three Musketeers, and Lou Albano is Julius Caesar. And the next thing is fucking disgusting.
Well, I put the reason that Bundy's is it could be as simple as the reason Bundy is Abraham Lincoln is because that day Vince McMahon was like, I want to see King Kong Bundy in a top hat.
It's fucking gross what these guys do. It's like two guys, one cup. It's disgusting.
It's Lou Albano versus King Kong Bundy in a pie eating contest. Not only is it disgusting watching these two slovenly men cover themselves in whipped cream or whatever, but
and
behind
chocolate.
them,
Why did it have to be chocolate pies?
Because Vince McMahon said, I want to see King Kong Bundy in a top hat covered in chocolate pie.
Looks like poop.
And behind them, of course, is the cocaine-fueled WWF roster.
And Tito Santana.
And Tito Santana. And Tito. Right. It's like Scott Hall. Scott Hall, they said, all any of us want is the Tito thing.
Yeah. Somebody's got to drive.
Albano wins this pie eating contest, by the way.
Of course.
Oh, man. Then the next thing on this, continuing on this surreal episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, it is Piper's Pit with his guests, the Hillbillies. Hillbilly Jim, Cousin Junior, and Uncle Elmer, and they're all sitting there on a park bench or whatever, like that has been put in the. I don't know why they were sitting down to start the thing, but they're all just sat there in the ring. Piper comes in. Howdy there, neighbor.
I don't know. It's like the feud with the Piper and the Hillbillies. It's like it's like how it was like we talked about like last week. Like Piper will come out and like insult the Hillbillies, and then the Hillbillies do nothing about it. Like they just stare at him or whatever, and that's all it ever is. It's just like one side, like verbally one-sided, just them just yelling, like Piper just yelling and accosting the Hillbillies, and they're not good enough verbally to like come back with anything. You know what I mean?
Other than Piper asking Uncle Elmer what happened on his wedding night, and his comment, "None of your business."
Yeah, it's like
that's all he's got.
They never. It's I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it's like they didn't put him in there with anybody that could physically bar back with him. I don't know.
No. The Hillbillies definitely don't have a mouthpiece among them. Not that Hillbilly Jim didn't stink, but he was not going to be doing laps promo wise with Roddy Piper.
It might not help that I'm not a huge like Hillbilly fan anyway. I don't know.
Oh man, I loved Hillbilly Jim.
I like Hillbilly Jim. I don't like the Hillbillies.
Yeah. I liked Hillbilly Jim with all the small people, all the little people at WrestleMania. That was pretty cool.
We call them midgets around these parts.
Well, we're trying to. This 26, bruh. 26.
None of your business. None of your business. Well, Piper, I thought it was kind of funny that Piper kind of threw Jesse Ventura under the bus.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't do nothing
I
wrong.
didn't
It
say
was
that.
Jesse.
I didn't say it. Jesse Ventura said it, which kind of causes Jesse to have to man up.
Yeah.
But yes, they're referring to I guess they were referring to the poem and stuff that Jesse did last week during the reception, insulting Elmer's wife, Joyce.
They were more
Joyce
upset
Elmer.
about the
Joyce Elmer.
Yeah, Joyce Elmer. They were more upset about the two cods fighting over a piece of corn. That was what they were most the hillbillies are most upset about.
Piper loved that joke.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura comes to the ring. Did Jesse Ventura ever sell for anybody?
Did he ever sell for anybody?
Yeah, did Jesse Ventura ever the character
not promo wise?
Even when
I've watched old stuff where he's in the ring and he does, but he never wanted anybody to get over with him verbally.
Yeah, that's why I talk about all the time. They have at WrestleMania 2, he does that interview with Hulk Hogan. And he interviews Hulk Hogan and kind of shits all over Hogan and doesn't sell for Hogan's gimmick or anything at all. So they actually come back and do another promo with Lord Alfred Hayes interviewing Hogan so that Hogan can put himself over because Jesse would not do it.
And you know what I think it is? Part of it. For one, I think Jesse's a lot like Kevin Nash in the fact that he's going to tell you, I wasn't this fucking magical worker in between the ropes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I got is, and Nash is kind of the same way. What I got is my personality and my promos. And if I start letting you get one over on me on that aspect, what else do I got? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then especially when he gets sick and then he can't work as much. So now all he's got is his promos and shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's part of it. And then the other part of it's ego. But if all you got is one trick in your bag, you don't want it. Bobby could bump around and do all kinds of shit for you because he was Bobby fucking Heenan. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't lose anything, but it's kind of like Piper. I mean, Piper was kind of the same way. Piper would bump around for people and shit, but nobody ever pinned him. How many years was it before Brett pinned him that he hadn't gotten a pinfall against him or a submission? It was probably I want to say a decade, maybe.
Yeah, he was like Mil Mascaris. No yob.
We can do a double disqualification. We can do a count out. You can pin Bob or Paul, but he wouldn't get his fucking shoulders pinned. I think it's the same way with Jess. This is what I got. This is the tool I got in my box. So I'm not going to let you outshine me on it.
Well, they do the whole gimmick with the hillbillies that, when Jesse comes out and he's not going to back down from no hillbillies, blah, blah, blah. They do the whole gimmick where Bob Orton crouches down behind the hillbillies so that Piper can push them over, make them fall on their big fat asses. And that's that, right? David, any more comments on this Piper's Pit?
Well, you forget that. That was it. Sorry.
Nope.
But David.
Piper's a wild man. That's all I could say.
Yeah, this trick or treat segment coming up, buddy. Anyway.
Almost as bad as his cigarette promo at WrestleMania. Ugh.
Yeah.
Some of the Piper's Pits are not memorable.
So yeah, it's like Aaron. It's like I told Aaron and I were talking about a couple shows ago with Roddy. You never know what Piper you're gonna get. It might be the fantastic Piper that just glues you to your screen, or it might be the Piper where you're like, what the hell is going on? But you never know. Up next, it's the Pumpkin Dunk. It's going to be Bobby Heenan.
Yes, and
Cousin Junior. Junkyard Dog is here dressed as a mummy.
I thought he was supposed to be the Yeti.
The Yeti! Tony Schiavone would love it.
Please don't remind me of the Yeti.
Yeah, JYD showed up. Yeah, this is Bobby versus Junior in a pumpkin dunking. I think this might be check here. This is Junior's, like, at least in this main television stuff. This is his last hurrah. Like this is his big pay. Like, because by next month it's or whatever, Junior's gone and cousin Luke has shown up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
nice to know you, cousin Junior.
yes,
Hit the bricks.
hit the bricks.
I love how Mean Gene called it an early weasel skin hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that early weasel skin? I also do have in my notes here. I mean, as Jane, Liz is all the way live on this show.
Oh yeah.
But Randy Savage and Tito Santana are holding the bags to collect the pumpkins. Bobby Heenan and Cousin Junior, and Bobby Heenan wins this contest 7-4 to tie up the Albano Heenan Halloween series.
Yes.
He definitely won fair and square.
Yes. Yeah, sure. So the next match on the show, I put down, this is your, if you're a kid at this time, this is your dream LJN figure tag match.
Yeah. Don't skip over the promo. There wasn't much to it, but Gene interviews King Kong Bundy and John Studd, and Bobby's getting ready to walk away, and Gene's like, "Where's your beaver hat?" And Bobby's like, "It's none of your business from Beaver Hat's hat," and just keeps on walking. Like, "Where's your beaver hat?" And he doesn't ask it like Mean Gene Okerlund, like, "Oh, where's your beaver hat?"
He
Just to
asks
Bobby,
it- he
and they go
asks
to
it
walk
like-
away, and he's like sarcastic about it. He's like, "Where's your beaver hat?"
He ribbing him is what he's doing, yes.
And Bobby's like, "None of your business."
None of your business. And then Uncle Elmer's like, none of your business.
Yeah, it's like, Bobby's like, "None of your business from a Beaver Hat's hat." But anyway,
Yeah, this is the epitome of a 1985 WWF tag team match. Main event.
yes.
Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy. You just about don't get any bigger than this match at this point.
The 4 heaviest LJN figures they made, by the way,
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, I don't know how many times I cracked my knuckle on a Bundy figure. Man,
Man, you'd take that Big John figure and swing it at people. And it looks like he's taking a dump the way he got him posed. Him and Hogan both. It's like, why did they pose him like they're squatting? Never understood that.
It is
Jeez.
kinda
Every time Big John Studd got in the ring, it was taking a dump.
In their feud, they hated each other outside of the ring as well. Him and Studd, Andre and Studd.
yeah. And it
I've
was
said it. I've said it a few times, but like he's like one of the big, like the guy from this time in the WWF that I'm just like, when I see it, it's like I don't get it. I just never got into Big John Studd.
yeah,
I
he's
don't
kind
know
of
why.
not a great promo. I mean, it really the only thing he had going for him was his size, and I think that that's one of the reasons why he feuded with Andre forever, because
There's nobody else that it was his size.
well, and then they team him with Bundy, but there was just nothing else you could do with him because he wasn't really all that good. I've seen a couple of matches. I have the Hulk Hogan Rarities DVD that they had released, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And there's a couple Hogan Stud title matches on there, one from Puerto Rico, and he didn't even really have any chemistry with Hogan. Just like even the Hogan match, and you know, a Hogan match is a Hogan match, but they were even good Hogan matches. So I agree with you. I think he's more of a, just because he has an iconic look.
Yeah.
Probably a nice enough fella. I don't know. Whatever. but-
Everybody in the wrestling business talk about how nice what dude he was and everything, but
He was the Giant Gonzalez of the 80s. That's all that was. And they at least put him with Heenan to help, so that helped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Heenan was his mouthpiece, and Andre didn't like that he would try to call himself the Giant as well. That was a big deal. So, and you don't mess with Andre, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But this match is exactly what you would think it is. The crowd is hot, very hot for this match. Hogan and Andre against Studd and Bundy. I noticed a couple times during this match Vince McMahon trying out the name Big Boss Man for Andre the Giant.
That didn't go over very well.
That never took, so they saved that and used it for somebody else.
Yeah.
They also wanted they wanted Andre to have music. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes, Vince McMahon, according to, I think it was Bobby Heenan talked about it. At one point, it had suggested, because if you watch the old, if you play the old WrestleMania game for Nintendo, like the horrible one,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they play like music. If you notice when Andre's music's on, it's a 8-bit version of whatever, a Stand Back.
Yes.
They wanted Andre to come out to Stand Back, and Andre the Giant was like, "I'm not coming out to Vince McMahon singing Stand Back."
Not happening, brother.
Not happening.
The only
Not
theme
gonna-
that would have worked for Andre is Earthquake's theme.
Yeah.
That would have worked
Something-
for Andre.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just picture Andre going, no, not going to do that, boss.
Anybody want a peanut?
And what I think's crazy, talking a lot about Andre, like when we talk about Bam Bam and how he did WrestleMania 11, and then by WrestleMania 12 he was gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that the rise and the quick fall of King Kong Bundy, and how it was all due to like a computer commercial.
I don't know if
You
I've
know what I
heard
mean?
that
Like-
story.
Yeah, you got like you used to have to get rights or whatever, like the WWF's permission to do outside commercials. You know,
Oh,
Well,
okay. Yeah.
but Bundy did one in Japan because he thought Vince wouldn't find out about it, and Vince totally found out about it. And it was basically just like they got in that big fight about it, and then he just fucking petered out.
Yeah. The fall of Bam Bam, losing to Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania. That's when you knew he was done. Poor guy.
Yeah. They what they should have. Well, not only that, but to be honest with you, at that time, I don't know that they should have ever turned him babyface. But I always thought Bundy was much better as a heel. Or not Bam Bam and Bundy,
Yeah.
but yeah, Bam Bam. But yes, this match, we have a ref bump in the middle of it, so they send out another referee. I don't really have many notes on many spots or anything in the match because, like I said, it was just these guys all doing their greatest hits and getting over for the crowd and having a big main event tag team match, WWF style.
Andre got tied up in the ropes again, so take a shot every time Andre gets tied up in the ropes in a match. You know.
Yes,
So
he gets tied up. Stud and Bundy do the double team for the disqualification,
Yeah.
and Hogan makes the save. Mean Gene then is in the ring with Hogan and Andre to interview them, and Andre, he's pissed. He's a pissed off giant.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, and I want to say, like, I don't know, like, I want to say it. Like you talked about how where they were already thinking about probably turning Andre heel and everything, and if you look back at it at the time, it's like, it was about time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying babyface Andre wasn't still cool, but it was about to be like he was going to start getting overshadowed, and he's getting older, so he couldn't do like what he could do in the 70s. And even a couple years before this. So yeah, I thought it was about time to do it.
Yep. And
Yeah, I love the heel run. I just think they did it too long. They waited too long to turn him back face when he couldn't do anything ever anymore.
right.
That was my only complaint. That should have
Yeah, I
lasted
mean-
a year at best, and then they should have let his final year be another face run where he wasn't kind of like. Even though I will say that slap of Bobby Heenan that wasn't a slap was the best thing ever.
Well, they actually were intending to give him one last face run going into WrestleMania 7 because they actually advertised him for the 91 Royal Rumble, but then he broke his ankle, I think he broke his ankle or something, and that's why he wound up being like with the Bushwhackers on those crutches or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and he wanted to work with Taker too, because Taker talks about how Andre told him, like, I have an idea, boss. And Taker would be like, what is it? He's like, I don't want to say it unless we can do it. But so Taker was like, I never found out what he wanted that fucking storyline to be. He's like, he wanted to work with me. But it just wasn't in the cards.
what
Yeah, I
could have
wonder how
been-
Taker would have beat him because he couldn't get him up for Tombstone. So
Yeah.
not even a choke slam at that time, really.
But yeah, he said Andre had an idea. He just wouldn't tell him, and I think it was kind of like, I don't want anybody to steal it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the next match on this show is a really, really good match. It's really short, but it's a really good match. Randy Savage versus the Intercontinental Champion Tito Santana. They do discuss, because like you said, Aaron, and we were just discussing, I think this is November. I think Randy had only come in just around July or maybe August or September. So they do talk about his meteoric rise here in the WWF. You know, they never seen anybody getting title shots this quickly or whatever to put him over as a a blue chipper or what have you. And he's getting a shot at Tito Santana's Intercontinental title. Good match, great heat. There are matches between these two that are on prime times or on some of the Coliseum videos that are from Boston Garden and the Philadelphia Spectrum. You can probably find them on YouTube. I recommend them to anybody. Watching these two wrestle each other is magic. But anyway.
And I want to say, I'm going to double check my facts here. What's this, November? He's IC champion by February. So him and Tito worked for a couple months together, and then so it's not too much farther out that they put the belt on him. And in the WWF, that's a pretty quick WWF wise, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Showing up in, what'd you say? When did you say he debuted?
I think it was like September-ish, late
so
August,
September
early
to
September.
That's a quick turnaround in the WWF.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with how long they book out and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling that maybe that might have been part of Randy's
Vince,
reason to sign with it. Where it's like, we're going to strap a fucking rocket to you, man.
That or Vince McMahon got a glimpse at him and said, we're going to strap a fucking rocket to you, man.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that confetti. But actually, you know what? There are some local promos I've seen with Randy where he still uses the confetti. Like the event center promos.
Yeah, Bruce talks about how, like, most guys they talked about, like, they'd say, like, we're going to bring you in, but we're going to turn, like, we might have to turn your gimmick down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or turn your gimmick up a little bit. Like, you're just going to be your character, just like Dusty Rhodes. It's like, you're going to be Dusty Rhodes, but you're going to be Dusty Rhodes with the volume turned up by 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like Randy Savage, they got him and they were like, we got to turn your gimmick down. Like, your gimmick's crazy. Dad in the box and your brother in his fucking night outfit. Like, what is going on?
This match goes to a double count out.
What happened to David?
He dropped off. He did put in the message that he should be right back. So,
all right.
But
make sure he didn't think I was monopolizing the conversation.
Yeah. Then after this match, we go to they show Mr. Fuji. I was like, is Fuji taking a big shit?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have this kung fu deal with Steamboat, which is terrible. But yeah, they just have a close up of his face, and he's like, and he's holding his head, and it did look like he was straining to take a poo.
A very bad poop. Go ahead. Sorry.
David wants to apologize to you, the listeners. He had an emergency work meeting and had to go. But we thank him for joining us. He's hoping to join us next time.
Okay. Mr. Fuji. I know we haven't got there yet, but he's a long forgotten that he was actually I shouldn't say long forgotten, but most people don't think of Mr. Fuji as a professional wrestler, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when we were kids, when they'd show you like the footage of Fuji and the professor, we thought it wasn't very long ago. It was like 10 years ago, but it felt like it was like 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what did you think? Because we all know what everybody thinks of Fuji is like, you know, the manager and all that. What did you think of Fuji as a wrestler?
I actually like the tag team of Fuji and Saito with Albano.
Yeah,
I think that for 70s, early 80s style heels, they were exactly what they needed to be. And I mean, Mr. Fuji wasn't, you know, 5-star whatever, you know, Matt, but he didn't need to be. Him and Saito as foreign menaces, I thought they were actually really good. And yeah, I do. And I think that I thought they were a good promo, and I thought that Albano was great with them, because I've always said I'm a fan of Albano, like chameleoning himself into whatever gimmick he's managing. You know, so he would say silly things that he thought were Oriental but weren't, or whatever, just being a goof, being Albano, but it all worked. And yeah, I like Fuji as a I don't like Fuji as a wrestler in this match. I don't like Fuji as a wrestler when he's past his prime, just doing garbage with like Hillbilly Jim or whatever. But when he was in that team with Saito, which is most of what I've seen of him as a wrestler, because I think he even wrestled like in the South and stuff that I've never even seen. But yeah, no, long story short, I don't mind Fuji as a wrestler.
I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one. So I'm like, man, when Fuji was a worker, Fuji was good. And like I said, it gets overshadowed just because it was in a different era, you know, and then the Mr. Fuji bowler hat and suit and everything is like iconic or whatever in the wrestling lore. But yeah, he was good, I thought.
And now we go into Vince McMahon. He is with Roddy Piper in his rented American home, because
which translates into Vince's house.
Yeah. Which he says, we're here in your rented American home as opposed to your home in your native Scotland. And Roddy makes makes a nice racist native joke.
Then chucks a popsicle stick or whatever as a spear.
Yeah. But this is a surreal whole deal. Piper's like raging about kids and trick or treat. He's wrapping up bricks and saying that he's going to give them to the kids and make them think they're chocolate bars. He has bowling balls as candied apples.
Do you know what my favorite thing of the whole thing is?
What's that?
That in each room of his house, he has a life-size cardboard cutout of himself. That's my favorite thing in the whole thing. Like, he's doing all this other shit, and it comes off as being an asshole or whatever. But the most heelish thing he did, or they did in this, was that every room has a cardboard cutout of himself.
It is fun.
And I don't think they ever bring it up, but I'm just like, every single room they go in, it's just so fucking funny.
So the kids show up. They come in. Piper's like, "Oh, look at this little group of curtain climbers." And he just starts going wild Roddy Piper on these kids. He's like, breaks their bags and he's stealing their candy.
It's the aggressiveness in which he breaks the bags, because he's like, "You want some candy?" And then he just throws the brick into their bag and blows the bottom out of it.
You don't need that bag anyway.
He doesn't take it and rip it or anything. He throws the fucking brick into them. Oh, so funny.
It's a wild segment. And so Piper, the whole gimmick here is obviously he doesn't like these kids and he wants to steal their candy, right? Every time he breaks one of their bags, he's like, "I like that one. But it turns out this group of kids in Roddy's neighborhood must know what an asshole is, because they were ribbing him.
Yes. They fed him what was it?
Candy coated red pepper.
Red pepper.
Yes. And Vince McMahon totally oversells it.
And do you know who the gypsy girl was?
Who was the gypsy girl?
The gypsy girl was the WWF television debut of Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, see, you know what? I didn't guess Stephanie because for some reason I didn't think she was that old yet at this point. Not old, you know what I mean? Not old.
Yeah.
But I thought she was younger than that at this point. So
Nope, that's
okay.
Steph. At least everything I've ever saw or read or whatever, that was her.
I believe it. I'm sure every one of those kids was an employee's kid.
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah.
somebody who lived in the neighborhood. That was probably her friends.
All right.
Because this would have been 85, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was born in 76.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she
So.
was about 9-ish. Okay. Stephanie McMahon's WWF debut during a
Yes.
surreal Roddy Piper segment. That's fun.
Getting one over on Piper.
Then of course they have to talk to Hulk Hogan about how much he loved with those Roddy Piper.
Yes.
Got to get Hogan on the show as much as we can. And then this upcoming Kung Fu match. Or Kung
There's
Fu
no Kung Fu.
something with Steamboat and Fuji, because obviously Ricky Steamboat is feuding with Don Morocco, who is managed by Mr. Fuji. In the interview, Mean Gene or Fuji breaks some bricks with some chops. He breaks a board with his head. Gene's like, better get him out of here. We're not going to have any bricks or wood left. I was like,
What
that's
do we need him for?
that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's a silly comment to make.
Like, that's the only reason we had the bricks and wood. It's for him to break them.
I don't know. I thought that was humorous. So I was like, why did he say that?
Yeah, that was the whole purpose.
This obviously this thing's not good, but it's not. What do I want to say? It's not meant to be good.
Nope. This isn't where they hang him, is it?
No, that was that they showed them hanging him in the past.
Because for some reason Vince McMahon had a hard on for Ricky Steamboat getting his fucking neck and throat messed up.
Yeah.
Like, it happened all the time in the WWE. But anyway.
This match, they're using quote unquote kung fu moves. In other words, they're just doing silly looking Asian chops at each other.
Yes.
They do actually let Fuji get in some wrestling. It's not just a one-sided thing. He does get to hit a few moves on Steamboat when it kind of breaks down. Steamboat winds up winning the match, and then of course, predictably, Don Morocco attacks Ricky Steamboat after this thing, whatever this thing is. Yeah. There's probably I don't know. I was like that. I'm indifferent to this. I don't care. I like everybody involved, but I'm indifferent to it.
Yeah, it was just a vehicle to continue the Steamboat Morocco feud.
And now it's time for the Pumpkin Pass.
Yes. Our main event.
The main event, the Pumpkin Pass, and it's Albano, Team Albano, Team Heenan. They are tied 1-1.
What I like is the fact that it's very subtle, but you figure out why most of the heels tried to find outfits where they had capes.
Yeah, so they
Did you
could hide.
notice it?
Yes, so
Because they were hiding, not even trying to pass the pumpkin. Like, they were just handing it off to each other.
And that is the gimmick, because then it gets to Elizabeth,
Who has no cape.
and she tries to pass it and drops it, and then the domestics begin with Randy Savage.
Yes.
But yes, Team
What
Albano
started the whole thing was the whole pumpkin pass.
Team Albano wins. And like I said, then with Liz is scared because Randy's pissed off at her because she lost the
You
pumpkin
embarrassed me at
pass.
that party.
Yeah, he embarrassed me. The pumpkin pass. Yeah, the pumpkin pass. That's what did it, Liz. It's the pumpkin pass. He wouldn't say pumpkin. He would say pumpkin.
The pumpkin pass. Oh, dude,
freak out the pumpkin pass. Yeah.
When I was watching these superstars from '92, I forget who the wrestler is, but they hit the one wrestler. It might be Crush. Hits the guy in the butt of the jaw. Okay, and Vince McMahon goes, strike to the butt of the jaw, and then Macho Man's like, that's the worst place to get it, huh? On the jaw. And Vince McMahon's like, yeah, in the butt. And then Macho Man's like, "Yup, in the butt," and then it just keeps on going. So I don't know if they were just making themselves laugh by getting in the butt on TV or what. But Vince was like, in the butt of the jaw. And he's like, that's the worst place to get it on the jaw, right? And Vince McMahon's like, yep, in the butt.
Yeah, shit. That's
Like,
funny.
I rewound it because I was like, did I hear that? That shit was fucking funny.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
Yes. At the end of the show, Vince McMahon, Gene Okerlund, and Jesse Ventura wrap up the show, and Jesse says that next time on Saturday night's main event, him and Roddy Piper want to face the Hillbillies.
Yes. So he's going to do something that no other broadcaster's ever done. He's going to get in the action and back up his word. Yeah.
And that is how we wrap up Saturday night's main event, November 2nd, 1985. Like I said, it was kind of a wild and woolly show. Lots of star power, I will say that. Lots of star power on this show. Some of the things were kind of surreal and silly. But that's also to be expected, especially since, like I said earlier, Saturday night's main event is, you know, the epitome of Vince presenting his product to the wrestling or to the American public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That,
And
you know, this is what we are.
What I try to show, that I try to tell people sometimes or whatever, is now a professional wrestling television show is like 3.5 hours or whatever. And then like pay-per-views sometimes be fucking 4 hours. I know they've cut back on some of that in recent years or whatever, but they did a lot of shit in 42 minutes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to have, every match didn't have to be some big main event, and they didn't have to have 47 finishes and all that. Simple,
Absolutely.
effective, fun storytelling.
I agree. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here this week again, once again, for the WrestleNet or the We Can't Wrestle podcast on the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network, of which you can join us on YouTube. Tell your friends about the show. I want to thank David Gold for joining us today.
Yes.
And I don't know, do you have any other parting words for our listeners before we sign off this week, Aaron?
I do not. I think next week is Pot on the Mountain, I believe.
Yes, Pot on the Mountain next week, and then we'll get back to Saturday night's main event the week after. Pot on the Mountain. Pot on the Mountain covering September of 1992 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And like Aaron said, thank you all for listening to us this week, and we'll see you next time around, folks.